Hello students. So already we have talked about two parts of budget speech. So this is the third part of budget speech which I am going to start today. So already in two parts we have talked about, like in part 1 we have mentioned about the achievements of the government in last 10 years. In part 2 we have talked about the methods adopted by the government to achieve those, or you can say whatever targets has been achieved in last 10 years. So basically method. So there they come out with the acronym GDP. Now in this third part, we are going to see that where government is going to focus in coming financial year. So coming financial year means that is from 1st April 2024. Okay. Although the government said that this is an interim budget. Okay. But when you see the numbers, so they have presented a budget for the whole year. Okay, so we'll talk about that numbers also in next video, that is the last part, part 4. Now, government said that we will focus on aspirational districts. Now here they want that we will focus on faster development of aspirational districts. So it means faster. So again, time has become important. So one is you need to develop aspirational districts. But by what time? That is not mentioned. But here government has says faster. So faster has become important. Now if you see what are aspirational districts. So basically if you see, this is the concept given by Niti Aayog in 2018. So you can say most backward districts. Okay, so we want to, or you can say those districts which perform very less on some key social progress or social parameters. So we want to develop those areas. Okay. So you can say among backwards also most backward districts. So that is what aspirational districts we identify. Okay. Now the strategy for aspirational district is 3 C's. Okay. So you can say CCC, 3 C's, just like PPP model, 3 C's. Now what are those 3 C's? Convergence, collaboration and competition. So convergence means whatever schemes are there, that is of center and states, they will be converged. Collaboration means coordination between center and state government, and competition means whatever aspirational districts we have, so there will be a competition among them in order to rank them. So you will find monthly ranking on certain parameters, and these parameters are basically 5 broad parameters, or you can say 49 key performance indicators which has been classified into 5 broad parameters. Like health and nutrition is one parameter which has been given a weightage of 30%. Education again 30%. Agriculture and water resources 20%. Financial inclusion and skill development 10%. And infrastructure 10%. Now these parameters and their weightage is important for your prelims exam. So you must remember these things. Plus these, you can say strategy also is important for your prelims exam, that is 3 C's. So you must know what is the meaning of these 3 C's. So this is what you have to remember. Now next is development of the East. Now this is the area, you can say in whole country, if you will see that, if you see the D8 states, that is 8 developed states. So most of these states are from, you can say, western part of the country. Okay, or you can say like Haryana, Punjab. In center you will see Mumbai, that is western part itself, Mumbai, Gujarat, that is Maharashtra, Gujarat, and then you come to down south, that is Karnataka. So these are D8 states. So there are some 8 developed states, but no state is from east side. Now government has emphasized on the development of eastern region also. Okay. Now if you see in eastern region, okay, this is what government says that we will focus on this thing. Now what is the relevance of, you can say, eastern region? So if you see West Bengal, that is known for its services. Okay. Odisha, that have a remarkable performance in manufacturing. Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, that is having a natural resources. Okay, and ultimately these eastern states will connect India to East Asia. Okay, so you can say gateway to East Asia. So you can see with respect to trade also. Okay, so if you see ports, so these ports will be developed which will be further connect to our East Asia. Clear? So this is what, in this sense, it is relevant. Now next is PM Awas Yojna. Okay, that is Grameen. So again here they want to provide, you can say, houses, that is those who are homeless
okay, or you can say those who are staying in kacha house, okay. So to them, government want that they must have their own houses, that is under PM Awas Yojna. So if you see, already we have some achievement like in the form of 3 crore houses. That target we have already achieved. Now in this financial year, that is upcoming financial year, we want that we must give 2 crore more houses that will be taken up in next five years. So ultimately some houses will be, that is out of 2 crore, some houses will be given in this financial year, okay, some in rest 4 financial years. So ultimately you can say this scheme is extended for another 5 years, okay, and the target is, that is, target is 2 crore houses. Now if you see PM Awas Yojna, so in PM Awas Yojna, so you can say to provide pakka house, okay, pakka house with basic amenities, means electricity, water supply and all those things to the rural families, okay. Now if you see the minimum size of the house that which will be allocated is 25 square meter. So earlier it was 20 square meter, and the amount which will be given for assistance for plain area, it is 1,20,000, okay. Earlier it was 70,000, whereas for, you can say, hilly areas it is 1,30,000. So this is what you have to remember for your prelims. So budget, again I'll tell you, important for your pre and mains both. Now next, if you see that government has talked about rooftop solarization and muft bijli, okay. So ultimately muft bijli, how they will ensure muft bijli, we'll talk about that also. Now through this, the target is to provide 1 crore household will be enabled to obtain up to 300 unit free electricity every month, okay. Now if this is possible, or you can say if we able to do it, so what will be the benefits? So that has been mentioned in budget speech. So this document open in front of you is nothing but your budget speech. You can get this document from ministry website also, that is finance ministry website. So in my first part video I told you that from where you get it. So I request everyone that you must go through the original document, okay. Now if you see what government says, that through rooftop solarization, that will provide muft bijli, how, we'll talk about that also. Now if you see saving up to 15 to 18,000 rupees, so it means those houses which will have solar rooftop, they can save around this much amount per month in their, you can say, in their electricity bill, okay. Now charging of electric vehicle, so electric vehicle is the future, okay. Although government has talked about electric vehicle in budget speech also. Entrepreneurship opportunities as well as employment opportunities, means if rooftop solarization is promoted by the government, as they have said that they will promote in coming financial year, so it means someone will become job seeker, someone will become job creator. That is why entrepreneurship opportunities and employment opportunities. Now if you see that very famous scheme of government, PM Suryodaya scheme, now under this the rooftop benefit will be given, or you can say government will provide support to those families or those houses who consume less than 300 unit per month, okay. So ultimately government is basically, this scheme is run for those, okay. So if your per month electricity consumption is less than 300 units, then you are also eligible, okay. But government says normally, generally it includes economically weaker section of our society, okay. So 300 units, so you can say for having solar rooftop, government will provide them subsidies. Now how much subsidy they will give? 60% subsidy, okay. So if suppose these household, those who are consuming less than 300 units, they will get how much subsidy? That is 60%. Now this is what you have to remember. Now even for rest 40% of the amount, you can say families, or you can say such beneficiaries can get loan facility also through special purpose vehicle, SPV. So government will create SPV. Now ultimately when you are getting 40% as a loan also, which you will refund, in what way? That is, whenever you are having solar rooftop, so you will produce some electricity, so additional electricity you will sell it to the grid. Now grid will pay you some money. Now what that money you can give to the special purpose vehicle who have provided you 40% loan. So it means such household can install, so you can say, solar rooftop at their house free of cost. Okay, free of cost. Okay, now the time period for returning the loan amount will be given 10 years. Okay, again I am explaining you what I told you, that if suppose you are the eligible beneficiary as per this scheme. So basically eligible beneficiaries are those people who consume electricity less than 300 units per month. So number one. Number two, once you become eligible beneficiary, you can have solar rooftop. For that you have to pay, okay, or you can say government will pay you 60% subsidy. Okay, now 40% also you get as a loan from special purpose vehicle, which government will set up under this scheme. Now whatever 40% you will get, you will return that loan amount with interest in a time period of 10 years. And how you will return? Because whatever additional electricity you will produce from this solar rooftop, you can sell it to the grid. Now grid will pay you money, that money you will pay to the, you can say, special purpose vehicle. So ultimately your solar rooftop is free of cost for you. This is what is the plan under, or you can say, implementation of this scheme. In this way government ensure the implementation. Now after 10 years, once you have paid all the interest and loan amount, so whatever extra you will get after 10 years, that will be your own income. So ultimately you can say now household will become the economic activity, okay, or household will become the unit of economic activity. So this is the intention of the government through this scheme. Now housing for middle class. Now when you talk about housing for middle class, so government here said that we have to target those people, those who are staying in, you can say, rented houses, slums, chawls or unauthorized colonies. So they want that such middle class people must have their own houses. Okay, so this is what is the intention. Now if you see that India's middle class is going to increase, or you can say is going to be nearly double to 61% of total population by 2047, that is 2047. So this is a great number, 61% of total population, that is up from 31% in 2021. So 61%. So ultimately number one, that you have to remember. Number two, if you see, already government has started working for, you can say, housing for middle class. So you know that a slum area in Mumbai, that is Dharavi, so that is developed by Adani Group, or you can say complete construction will be there by Adani Group with the help of some other foreign companies also. They are clear. So this is what you have to remember. Now even if you see, this is not a new initiative. Already in the previous budgets, government has announced a, you can say, income tax benefit by introducing section 80 EE in Income Tax Act. So there also those middle class, if they are purchasing any house, so government provide them, you can say, subsidies on interest, or you can say some benefit on interest payments. So already government has initiated, you can say, housing schemes for middle class. So this is the additional one. Okay, this is the additional one which government is going to introduce in coming financial year. So what will be that? We have to wait and watch. Now medical colleges. Now when we talk about medical colleges, so government said that we will set up more new medical colleges by utilizing the existing hospital infrastructure. So it means whatever already hospitals, or you can say tertiary level hospitals we have set up, so government will utilize that infrastructure only. Okay, now in order to utilize this, government will set up a committee. So this is what you have to remember. Next, cervical cancer vaccination. Now here you will see that vaccination will be given to the girls in the age group of 9 to 14 years. So this is what you will see, that is a preventable disease. So government will start giving vaccination. Now this cervical cancer is due to virus. Okay, so number one, that you have to remember for your examination. Number two, that you have to remember is that India is having a indigenously developed vaccine for this, you can say, cancer. Clear? So this is what you have to remember. Now next is maternal and child health care. Now under this maternal and child health care, you can say upgradation of Anganwadi centers under Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 will be expedited, improved nutrition delivery, early childhood care and development. So ultimately you can say 2.0 series. Okay, so now there is a trend of, you can say, web series, so it is like that only 2.0. Okay, similarly you will see that there is blue economy 2.0 also. Okay, next, government has also designed UWin platform. Okay, so just like co-win platform, that is for COVID, so you can say it is a, you can say, upgradation of that only UWin platform. Now here you will have a complete information with respect to all the vaccinations. Okay, also there will be an information on database of antigens. Now antigens are, you can say, you can understand like a foreign particles. So if you track such antigens, so you will be aware in advance that if there can be any new type of disease, so you can identify or rectify in the beginning itself. So this is the advantage of this UWin. Okay, next, Ayushman Bharat. Now under this, government says Ayushman Bharat will be extended to Asha workers, Anganwadi workers and helpers. Now basically Ayushman Bharat has two components. One is healthcare and wellness center. Number two is Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojna. So under Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojana, 5 lakh rupees per person, not per person, per family, per year will be given. Okay, for any treatment in tertiary hospital. Okay, tertiary hospital, or you can say when any person get hospitalized. So basically this Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojana is for poor person, is for poor person. This is what you have to remember. Next, agriculture and food processing. Now if you see in agriculture and food processing, they have talked about two schemes, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, which they said that it has provided benefited to 38 lakh farmers and generated 10 lakh employments. Next is Pradhan Mantri Formulation of Micro Food Processing Enterprise Unit, so which has provided benefit to 2.4 lakh self-help group and 60,000 individuals with credit linkages. So government is interested to further promote this food processing. Clear? Now if you see, basically this Pradhan Mantri Formulation of Micro Food Processing Enterprise Yojana is basically important, because if you see that the time period for this scheme is going to end next year itself, number one, because it is implemented for 5 years and it is a centrally sponsored scheme. Now if you see in this, they are basically supporting existing individual micro food processing units by providing some loan facility. Okay, as well as they are supporting self-help groups also by providing seed capital. Seed capital means the capital needed in the beginning itself. Clear? This is what you have to remember. Next, government is also promoting post-harvest activities, that is with the help of public and private enterprise. So you must link this thing, post-harvest activities, with your e-warehouse receipts also, as well as transport facilities that government is creating, like Kisan Rail, Kisan Udan. So government has come out with such initiatives. Clear? Next, nano DAP. Okay, now this is important. So already we have a success in nano urea. Now we will have success, or you can say government will promote nano DAP. Okay, now if you see nano DAP, so DAP stands for diammonium phosphate. So this is the second most utilized fertilizers after urea. So you know that for fertilizers, India is dependent on foreign countries. Okay, so we need such fertilizers. Okay, so you have to come out with alternatives. So if you see, it is a you can say it is high in phosphorus that stimulates root establishment and development. So phosphorus is needed for the root development. Okay, root establishment and development, without which plant cannot grow. That's but obvious, to grow to their normal size, or will take too long to mature. So ultimately if you will not put phosphorus, then also plant will grow, but it will take time. Okay, but it will take time. So ultimately plant cannot grow to the normal size. Okay. So ultimately that is why you need phosphorus. So it is thus applied just before or at the time of sowing. Okay. Now if you see, nano DAP contain 8% nitrogen and 16% phosphorus by volume. So this number you have to remember because it is important for your prelims. Now unlike conventional DAP which comes in granular form, IFCO's nano DAP is in liquid form. So ultimately granular means like in the form of dana. Okay. Now this is in the form of liquid form. Now this tiny particle size makes nano DAP more efficient than its conventional counterpart. Now in what way? Basically it is easy to enter easily inside the seed surface or through stomata or other plant opening. Okay. Better assimilation of fertilizer inside the plant system in further led to higher seed vigor, more chlorophyll, photosynthetic efficiency, better quality and increase in crop yield. So ultimately better application of phosphorus has good returns. Okay. So ultimately this is the thing. Also if you see, this has, apart from these benefits, there are other benefits also. Like if you see, this nano DAP is cheaper than granular phosphorus, number one. Number two, granular phosphorus comes in a bag size of 50 kg. This comes in bottle, so easy to transport. And number three, as I told you in the beginning itself, that our country is dependent on fertilizers. So that you can say dependency will also reduce. So this is what you have to remember. Next is Atmanirbhar oil seeds. So ultimately government said that we will focus on mustard, groundnut, sesame, soybean and sunflower. So already we have focused on palm oil, that is through National Palm Oil Mission. So this time we are focusing on this. So ultimately for oil seeds also India is dependent. So we want to make ourselves self-sufficient. That is why Atmanirbhar oil seed Abhiyan. So if we become self-sufficient, it will be a solution to two major problems. Number one, inflation. Okay, because we are dependent on that. And number two, import. So our import bill will get reduced. Okay. Now similarly, dairy development. So government says that we will come out with comprehensive program that will support dairy farmers. So this scheme will be, or you can say some scheme will be formulated. So right now it is too early to say what will be the scheme. So we all have to wait. Okay. Now efforts are already on to control diseases. So especially foot and mouth disease. Okay. Similarly, if you see, India is the world's largest milk producer. So that's an achievement for us. But on the other hand, what is the issue is that there is low productivity of milch animal. Now the program will also built on the success. So whatever earlier schemes we have, so we'll develop over that. Okay. Now Matsya Sampada Yojna. So if you see, this is for, you can say fishery sector or aquaculture. So already we had some good results or achievement under aquaculture. So first of all, government says that we have come out with a separate department for fisheries. Okay, so they have created a separate department for fisheries. So this government has come out with so many different initiatives. So they have created, you can say, some different ministries also, like ministry for cooperatives. So cooperative ministry has also been established by them. Okay, now the name of DIPP has also been changed by the government. That is, the new name is DPIIT, which comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, Jal, Ministry of Jal. Okay, so Ministry of Jal is also there. Okay, now they have expanded the scope of Ministry of Agriculture by adding Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Okay, so this is the thing. So this is what you have to remember. Now what achievement we have? Number one, first of all, we have double, that is both inland and aquaculture production. Next, if you see, we have advanced the productivity. So ultimately earlier our productivity was 3 tons per hectare, but now our productivity is 5 tons per hectare. We have also doubled the exports, that is to 1 lakh crore. We have generated 55 lakhs employment opportunities. So this is what you have to remember. Now just like you can say, we are developing cluster based, or we focused on cluster based approach. So this time also we are coming with cluster based approach on aqua parks. Okay, on aqua parks, that is 5 integrated aqua parks will be there in India. So where they will be located, when they will be developed, how they will be developed, So again you have to wait and watch. Now Lakpati Didi. Okay. Now Lakpati Didi. So ultimately government says that although this scheme was introduced last year itself, that is in 2023. Okay. So ultimately we have, you can say, provided benefit to 1 crore women's. Now we want to provide benefit to 2 to 3 crores women's. Now basically this scheme, Lakpati Didi scheme, is for, you can say, poverty alleviation, that is with the help of self-help groups. So ultimately in the beginning they have said that there are around 83 lakh self-help groups which you can say in which there are around 9 crore women's. Okay, so you can say best way to reach women's through self-help groups. Okay, so ultimately in this they will provide them some skill training, like they will tell, like if you see this scheme, so they have mentioned that we will provide such skills so that these women's are able to open their micro enterprises, means they can open their businesses in rural area itself at very small level, micro enterprises. So they have used this word. So like training will also be given. Okay, like no doubt tailoring and all these trainings will be given because these are all skill based. Now apart from this, training will be also given how to operate drones, how to repair drones. So this is also will be given under Lakpati Didi scheme. Okay, now this is what you have to remember. So this is basically for, you can say, reducing poverty in rural area. So ultimately this comes under which ministry? Ministry of Rural Development. So there are very high chances that with the name Lakpati Didi you think that this comes under Ministry of Women. No, it has nothing to do with Ministry of Women. This scheme is basically with respect to poverty reduction in rural areas, and it comes under Rural Development Ministry. So this is what you have to remember. Now technological changes. Okay, so technology has become a part of everyone's life. So now we cannot stay with mobile phone. So mobile phone is always with you every time, even during sleep also. Okay, so ultimately technological changes. So here government says that new age technology and data are changing the lives of the people. And yes, it is true, no doubt in that. So you are listening me, this is with the help of technology. So change in your lives. Okay, now we want that this technology must be used for, you can say, generating opportunities. So they says that and in such a way that it should reach to the bottom of the pyramid, means everyone must utilize it. Clear? Now if you see, Prime Minister has also talked about innovation, that we will focus on innovation. Now you know that Prime Minister, okay, like earlier Prime Minister, that is Prime Minister Shastri, has given a slogan Jai Jawan Jai Kisan. Okay, now Prime Minister Vajpayee has given a slogan Jai Jawan Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan. Now Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given a slogan Jai Jawan Jai Kisan Jai Vigyan and Jai Anusandhan, that is innovation. Okay, so they have said that my government will focus on innovation. Okay, now when they says innovation, so they have come out that we will set up one corpus, or you can say fund, which will have 1 lakh crores, and that will be given as a interest for 50 years. Okay, that will be given as a loan for 50 years without any interest. Okay, without any interest. But to whom? That is those who are, you can say, working in the field of innovation. Okay, or they are creating or doing some innovation. So to them government will support with this corpus. So it means in future government will come out with this fund, okay, in coming financial year. Clear? Now when we talk about infrastructure development, now in infrastructure development, government said that we have increased our capital infrastructure, that is with respect to previous year, or you can say last budget, by 11%, and the new number is 11,11,111 crore rupees. So this is the new number. Now one thing you have to remember, last year we have given, you can say, capital expenditure around 10 lakh crores. So it was the first time that government has given an amount more than 3% of GDP. So if you see the previous budgets, our capital expenditure has never reached 3% of GDP. So it was normally less than 3% of GDP. So in budget 2023, first time we have breached this target, that is 3% of GDP, and this time also our target is more than 3% of GDP. So if examiner confuse you that for the first time or from the last 5 years the capital expenditure is more than 3% of GDP, and if you don't know this information, your answer will be wrong. So you have to remember that in budget 2023 for the first time we have breached, or you can say crossed, 3% of GDP as our target, and this is the second budget we have, you can say, capital expenditure more than 3% of GDP. Okay, so last year it was 3.3% and this year it was 3.4% of GDP. Okay, now government says that in infrastructure our focus is on railway. So when we say railway, so they said that our focus is on basically three types of rail infrastructure. Number one, we want to make corridors keeping in mind with respect to these three products, that is energy, mineral and cement. Okay, so they have given relevance to this. Now you know cement corridor, why it is important? Because one is government is focusing on infrastructure development, Gati Shakti. Okay, Gati Shakti, where we have to develop an infrastructure more than 100 lakh crores in 5 years. Okay, so Gati Shakti, number one. Number two, government has announced that we have to focus on Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojna Gramin housing for middle class. That also needs cement. So there must be a efficient supply of cement. So first of all, efficient production and efficient supply also. That is why cement corridor. Next, port connectivity corridor. So we focus on increasing our trade also. Okay, so we have to focus on port connectivity also. Next is high traffic density corridor. So ultimately, wherever high traffic density corridor is there, we have to reduce the traffic there. Okay, so you can say traffic congestion. That is what we are talking about. Like you can say Atal Setu recently developed in Mumbai. So our objective is to reduce our traffic density, or you can say not traffic density, congestion. Okay, clear? So this is what they have written, the resultant decongestion of high traffic corridors. Okay, will help in improving operations of passenger trains, resulting in safety and higher travel speed for passengers. Okay, so this is what we have to remember. Now with respect to aviation sector, no doubt government initiated on aviation sector by announcing Udan scheme, where they want to connect, you can say, metro cities with tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and the outcome of is that right now we have around 149 airports in India. Okay, so if you check Google also, so out of 149, 35 airports are international airports, but if you check on Google, somewhere it is written 34 also. So this 35 data I am giving you because I checked the website of Indigo Airlines. So in Indigo Airlines they have mentioned 35 airports. Okay, so I think that is the authentic source which I have picked for you. Okay, but if you search randomly on Google, so they shows you 34. So please update it. Clear? So 35. Okay, so I have told you the source also. Okay, so this is what total 35 international airports. Okay, now your task, you can tell me in comment section where those 35 international airports are. Okay, located. Okay, so the UPSC can ask you such questions, that in which state you can say maximum international airports are there. Okay, so please tell me in comment section. Now, so ultimately Udan has resulted into, you can say, more air passengers. Okay, so around 1.3 crore air passengers. So you can say again a good number, 1.3 crores passengers, air passengers, and this number is going to increase in the future. Clear? Now next, Metro and Namo Bharat. Metro and Namo Bharat. Now when we talk about Metro and Namo Bharat, especially if you see Metro Rail, okay, especially if you see Metro Rail, so now urbanization is responsible, or you can say today Metro is the need for the urban areas. Okay, so you can say easy connectivity. Okay, congestion, to avoid, you can say, congestion. Okay, traffic congestion. Now Namo Bharat basically you can say electric mobility unit EMU. So this in India we have only first Namo Bharat, that is Delhi to Meerut. Okay, so connecting that distance Delhi to Meerut. Now this Namo Bharat train is developed with the help of French company Alstom. Okay, French company Alstom. Now the train is designed in Hyderabad, Telangana, but it is, you can say, manufactured in Gujarat. Okay, I think the name is Salvi or Savli. Okay, maybe I am pronouncing wrong. SAVLI or SALVI. So please correct me in comment section. Okay, a task for you. Clear? But it is manufactured in Gujarat. Okay, Namo Bharat. Okay, so ultimately this is what also you have to remember. And this train runs at a speed of, you can say 160 to 180 kilometer per hour. Okay, so you can say now Meerut and Delhi are now closer to each other. Okay, so usually by car if you go, it will take you 2 or 3 hours, but by this train Namo Bharat, it will take, you can say, around 1 or 1.5 hours. Clear? Next is green energy. Now when we talk about green energy, so if you see, first of all, government is emphasizing on, you can say, we have a commitment under net zero by 2070. So if you see that through solar rooftop, we talked about solar energy. Now here government has talked about offshore wind energy. So government is interested to tap offshore wind energy. Second, government is interested to tap coal gasification and liquefaction capacity. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. So ultimately when we are able to do it, so government itself says that it will help to reduce the import of natural gas, methanol and ammonia. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Okay, now again we want that whatever pipe connection, that is transport and pipe natural gas coming to your house, so we want that must have a blending, just like you can say ethanol is mixed in petrol. So we want that whatever pipe PNG that you are getting in your house, so that should be blended with compressed biogas in compressed natural gas, CNG. Okay, so compressed biogas will be merged or blend with CNG. So this is again a new thing. Okay, so ultimately here they have written that we are dependent on import of natural gas. So ultimately this will further reduce. Okay, so ultimately a step toward energy security. Okay, now financial assistance will be provided for the procurement of biomass aggregation machinery. Okay, so ultimately biomass aggregation machinery, this is also you have to remember. Now government has also emphasized on electric vehicles. So future is electric. So if you listen the speech of Nitin Gadkari also, so he has mentioned so many times like future will be electric, and if you listen his speech very carefully, so it seems like that diesel car will get replaced by your electric vehicle. Okay, diesel and petrol car both. Why to target only diesel and petrol? Okay, so we have to see how this will happen. And already in two wheelers we have done so many, or you can say already two-wheeler market has already done, or you can say already started tapping the Indian market, and there were so many startups also in two-wheelers. Okay, even if you see, future will be also on hydrogen. Okay, because already BMW, they have started working on hydrogen based engine. Okay, so we have to see that how things will change in the future. Okay, and even if you are reading newspaper regularly also, so right now, although despite disturbance at global level, that is Russia-Ukraine war on one side, Israel war on one side, despite such things, the prices of, you can say, crude oil has not crossed 100 billion barrel. Okay, that is $100 barrel per barrel. Okay, not billion, $100 per barrel. So right now it is around, you can say, 75 to $80 per barrel, and we have expectation that it will further reduce. Clear? Now bio manufacturing and bio foundry. Now ultimately the purpose is to promote green growth. Now here I would just like to emphasize on one thing, that government has emphasized on one thing, that we will have biopolymers, that is through bio manufacturing and bio foundry, bioplastics, biopharmaceutical and bio agri inputs. Now what is important here is that all these polymers, plastics, pharmaceuticals and agri inputs are responsible for soil and water pollution. Okay, soil and water pollution. So they have emphasized on this. So ultimately, every year UPSC is asking one question with respect to pollution. Okay, pollution. So this is what you have to remember. Okay, this is what you have to remember. So water pollution and soil pollution itself become important. Okay, now blue economy. Now in blue economy, if you see, government is saying that we will focus on climate resilient activities for blue economy. So ultimately sustainable one. Number two, restoration and adaptation measures and coastal aquaculture and mariculture. Now again a task for you, what is mariculture or what is the difference between aquaculture and mariculture? So you have to tell me in comment section. Clear? Otherwise I will tell you in future videos. Now tourist sites. Now government says that India need to be developed as a tourist site. So although they said that some initiative we have taken by conducting, you can say, meetings of G20 at 60 different places in the country in order to show our diversity to the global audience. So this is the beginning they have mentioned. Now if you see, government says that every state has to identify its iconic center, they have to brand it and market it. Okay, so they have talked about branding and marketing, and this is the responsibility of the states. And now they said that if you do this, we will rank you or rate you. So we will come out with some mechanism to rate you. And they also said that we will provide you long-term interest-free loans. Okay, long-term interest-free loans will be provided to states for financing such development on matching basis. So this is what you can expect a scheme in the future in order to create a tourism, or you can say competition among the states with respect to tourism. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Now if you see investments, so ultimately investments has also, you can say FDI, if you talk about, that is from 2014 to 23, our FDI has touched $596 billion. Okay, so ultimately this is the thing. But remember here one thing, if you see financial year wise data, we have never crossed $100 billion per financial year. Clear? Still we are waiting for. So maximum we have reached to 83 to 85 billion dollar. Okay, so we are still waiting that when we will cross this, you can say, parameter or benchmark. Clear? Now Viksit Bharat. Now government also says that we will support the states, okay, to bring reforms. Okay, so ultimately there is a, in order to become Viksit Bharat, we need the support of the state, and in order to ensure the support of the state, we will support them. Okay, so they said that we will make, you can say, arrangement of some funds that is having 75,000 crore rupees as a 50-year interest-free loan is proposed this year to support those milestone linked reforms by the state government. So ultimately you can say interest-free loans. So if you see, when we talk about Anusandhan, that is innovation, there also government is ready to provide 50-year interest-free loans. So there they have set up a corpus of 1 lakh crore. Here they have set up a corpus of 75,000 crores. Clear? So this is what also you have to remember. Now societal change. Okay, now here government said that we will bring, you can say, or set up high powered committee that will see what are the, you can say, challenges arising from fast population growth and demographic changes. Now here they have not mentioned that what demographic changes they are talking about. Okay, so with time you will understand. Okay, with time you will understand. Okay, now Amrit Kal as Kartavya Kal. So again here government has talked about their vision, which they have already talked about in their vision for Amrit Kal or strategy for Amrit Kal. The same thing they have mentioned, and they said that this Amrit Kal is a Kartavya Kal where we need Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Okay, and this is about, and also government has said in the full budget in July, our government will present a detailed roadmap for our pursuit of Viksit Bharat. So ultimately in the full budget in July, so it means government is confident that we are coming for this financial year. Okay, so ultimately in the full budget in July. Okay, so if government comes again to the power, okay, if government again comes to the power, so then they will announce a, you can say, detailed roadmap for our pursuit of Viksit Bharat. Clear? So this is about, you can say, part 3, and soon we'll come out with part 4, where we'll talk about some numbers, and again that is important. So if you have not seen first 2 parts, so please go through it and then come to the part 3. Okay, so it will help you to better connect with the things. And I request all of you that you must initially go, or you can say first have original document, that is original budget speech with you. So it will help you a lot, because all of you are going to become a bureaucrat. There you have to read a original source only. So we'll meet soon. Till then, Jai Hind and have a nice day.